It's time to rate your drafts out of 10. Stay tuned for 8 very different looking drafts from our chasers. So look, let's crack on, shall we, straight away. Before we do though, guys, if you fancy hitting that like button and also subscribing to Chasing Green Arrows, that would be amazing. But look, first up, we have got an interesting draft here. Some might call it a little bit safe or a little bit boring. It's Michael Saville, one of our chasers. I'm loving Nick Pope, by the way, in goal. He's 5 million. I think he might be a better option with the 4 million than two 4.5s. I'm not in love with any of the 4.5s. So I like this from Sav, who I know is a former goalkeeper himself. Trent, Gvardiol, and Anderson feels sensible. It's 2 premiums at the back with 1 sort of rotator. And then the midfield, look, this is a Haaland and a Salah draft. So with that, you need a couple of cheapos. My only issue with this team is player number 10 and player at number 11, so Begvali, Rodgers, they feel a little bit weak. And that is often the compromise when you have a Salah Haaland team. If you do, I don't think you can have 2 premium defenders. And I think maybe that's where Sav has got this one wrong. So I'd go Haaland, Salah and 1 premium, and then you can boost one of those midfielders to like a 6 million option or a 6.5 option. So all in all, because I like the back line, I like Pope, all in all, I'm going to grade this a 7 out of 10 here from Michael Saville. So let's move on, shall we? Straight away, we've got another Haaland and Salah draft from Freddy Pope here. Freddie has gone with a couple of differentials, though, in Hudson-Odoi, in Brennan Johnson. I like the attack very much. I think it's dynamic. I think it's creative to go with wide forwards like Hudson-Odoi and Johnson. The bench looks in good shape too. My only issue with this team, and you're all thinking it, it's the back line, isn't it? Robertson instead of Trent, meh, don't love it. We don't know yet who's going to be on set pieces and if they'll share them, but you expect it to be Trent. Burn, I'm not in love with because of fear of rotation. And Martinez, United conceded so many shots. I don't see United just keeping clean sheets straight away. And then obviously Sanchez, I'm sure Freddie's going to change. So the attack is really good. The defense is not. So I'm going to, do you know what? I'm going to sit on the fence here and also rate this a 7 out of 10. But I promise you guys, it gets better. Stay tuned. We've got a few more to get through. So look, let's have a look next up from FPL Discomfort. This is Kieran. Kieran always searches for a differential or two. He's an Arsenal fan and he has gone Raya in goal, which is actually, he's the highest owned goalkeeper, Raya. I do not like the Raya pick. I do not like Raya at 5.5. I much prefer the 5 million options like Pope and Emi Martinez because Raya, he might get way more clean sheets. He just feels like a way of trying to cover the Arsenal backline. I would much rather look outside of Raya, to be fair, because he doesn't pick up any of the extras. Barco, Trent, Gvardiol is a defense I really like. Like if you're going to go 2 premiums, go really cheap as defender 3 in this instance. Although Maatsen on the bench is a really fun pick. But Kieran's gone for differentials here. Minte, Szoboszlai, Brennan Johnson in another team. I'm surprised by this. And then Havertz up front as well feels like a really cool pick. He's someone I've got in my team. Smith Rowe, of course, now at Fulham. Again, a really nice 5.5 option. So all in all, I like this team very much. I don't like Raya, but other than that, I think Minte is a fun pick. Could he be first sub or will he start for Brighton straight away? I think he might start. His pre-season form's been great. So Szoboszlai could be loads of fun playing more advances than number 10. And Brennan is cheap at 6.5. So I'm going to give this, do you know what? No draft's going to get a 10, right? There is no 10. My own draft wouldn't get a 10. I'm going to give this a 8.5. I was considering a 9, but I think Brennan, Szoboszlai, Minte, maybe that's just overload, maybe 1 or 2 of the 3. So therefore, I'm going to go 8.5. Maybe that's a bit harsh because I do like it. No, what the hell? Let's give it a 9. Let's give it a 9. I do really like it. 9 there for FPL Discomfort. No Twitter handle from Sammy, who is one of my members. He's gone Flecken in goal, who was a bit of an early bandwagon, but he's gone triple Spurs. And I don't know if I'm here for that. The rest of it, though, Mikalenko, Gordon, Gvardiol, although Foden's probably going to come out because he would have heard the news from Pep that he's not going to play game week 1, so I'm not going to judge him on that. But then Anderson is a good 4th defender. Isak and Havertz again. This is a no Haaland draft, of course. Interesting to see when Foden comes out this team, if it becomes a Haaland draft from Freddie. I do like it, and I like the fact that you're gambling on Spurs. I've got to give you credit for the double Spurs attack. I just don't like Porro at the back. So I'm going to give this one again, Sammy. Actually, no, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Now I'm doing decimals. I'm going to go 0.5. So Sammy coming in there just ahead of the first couple, which I think was Freddie and Sav. Malaki is up next with his draft. And straight away, I see triple City. I see double Villa defense, triple Villa defense with Martinez in there. It's bold. You're committing to only a few teams here. You got triple Liverpool, double Newcastle, triple Villa, triple Man City. Wow, it's a really interesting approach to FPL. Many play other games like this where they stack on certain teams. You don't see it a huge amount in FPL. Personally, I don't think it's one for me, Malaki. And you, Malaki, fellow Chelsea fan, I've got a lot of time for you, mate, but I'm going to give this one a 7 as well. I do like loads of the individual picks in isolation. Jota, I think, could be a great pun. Sabotsai, we've spoken about. Rodrigo seems to pick up points. Rodri does. And I love Maddison. But I just wonder if it's a little bit too all in on a few teams. I don't mind that as a strategy. I'm just not sure if the other teams I'll be backing. Like triple Villa defense is rogue, mate. Is rogue. So fair play, Malaki. But now we've got Malachi up. Malachi is all the way in Perth, Australia. He actually plays semi-pro, or I think it's second tier in Australia. So my pro football. Malachi knows what he's talking about, and he's recently become, again, one of my WhatsApp members. So he's gone big at the back, and it is really big with Saliba 6 million, Gvardiol at 6, and obviously Trent at 7. But it doesn't feel like too much of a compromise because it's a no Haaland draft. You still get the midfield of Salah, Eze, and Kunku Foden, all of which I love, although the Foden news may affect this decision. Watkins is the first time we've seen Watkins in a draft. Again, he was in my team for the first, 10 days of the game dropping. First draft, I went Watkins. He has now come out for Havertz, but there's not much in it. And then Muniz with Fulham's fixtures. I like that very much. It feels like a really well-balanced team, this. Konza on the bench, defender 4. Barco, defender 5. I think Barco will probably be ahead of Konza quite often. And then 2 4.5 keepers that rotate well if Sanchez is starting. And I know Malachi will be looking to see if Sanchez will be a starter now. Chelsea have signed a new keeper. So I'm not going to judge you on that or Foden because that's recent team news. This is a really good looking team. He's up there with FPL Discomfort. This is a 9. This is an easier 9 than FPL Discomforts, and I'm not going higher than a 9. A 9 is like a 10. So I'm actually awarding that one a 9. Fair play. FPL Zin is up next. Zin's in Malaysia. Again, it's big at the back. This is a common theme, guys. But what I love about this one, it's the first time we've seen it. No Haaland, no Mo Salah. I love that variety. You're still covering Salah in a way by going Jota. You're still covering Haaland in a way by going Foden. Again, that might change with the news, but Saka, again, I'd just be wary of for game week 1, as I would be with Foden. But Eze, Jota, and Kunku, Isak, Watkins is a really nice 5. Big at the back isn't something for me, but it's never really been something for me. I can't mark anyone down for big at the back. This is a great looking team. And that back line, Henderson in goal would be my pick of the 4.5s. And again, you've got Henderson as a set and forget with a 4 million keeper, which I love. You're not committing 9 million here. You're committing 8.5. And I think that's fine if you're going Henderson. This is I think Jota could be loads of fun too. I think he starts game week 1 and 2 just because Gakpo and Darwin are back late. But then let's see. If he plays well, maybe he keeps his spot. I do like it very much. The bench is also fairly strong there. Maybe the bench is a bit too strong. Maybe you could save 0.5 by taking Konza down to a Barco. I'd probably recommend that, or Mikalenko. But other than that, again, this is up there. This is my third 9 out of 10. It's a really good to No, it can't be 9. Sorry. Captaincy has to be considered. When you don't have Haaland and Salah, who are you captaining? You can, of course, Saka's an option. You can captain Foden or Isak. I still think you miss out, though, given the Foden that might not play game week 1. I'm going to go this is an 8.5 because captaincy. Do you know who I would consider for captaincy some of these weeks if you're going without those two? Heung-min Son. Especially, I think, game week 5. Haaland plays Arsenal. Son's got Brentford at home, I think it is. So I'd consider maybe a Son just to cover you for captaincy. But yeah, good-looking team there's in. Last up, we have Kev Mack, friend of the show, chaser. We've got Pickford in goal for Kev. Again, the first time we've seen Pickford in, good 5 million option. And then again, it's big-ish at the back. Van der Ven's fairly cheap, but Virgil and Trent, double Liverpool defence. So Botzlai's in there too. I love the Bruno shout. I think Bruno at 8.5 has been underrated. He's only in, I think, about 15% of teams. Bruno is a really good price point this season. And clearly United's best player. The front two looks great. This is, again, a no Haaland, no Salah draft. Therefore, I worry for captaincy until I see, oh, you've actually got Son in there, Kev. So unlike our last team, which we saw from Zin, captaincy, yeah, he had Saka and he had Isak and Watkins. Saka does give good captaincy, fair. But you could argue Kev's got one extra because instead of Saka, he's got Son, but then he's also got Bruno. He's also and then got Watkins and Isak as well. And he's still got Foden in there. So he's gone down. I think Zin had a similar looking team, but had 3 premium defenders. Kev's gone 2 with Van de Ven. And then that allows that one extra captaincy candidate in Bruno. And I think that's important. So instead of the 8.5 I gave Zin, I'm going to give this one actually a number 9 as well. So guys, I think that's 3 or 4 9s I've given out. Wow, I'm the teacher everyone wants to be taught by, aren't I? Just giving out A stars all the time. But no, seriously, I mean, I don't think I could ever give a 10 because I genuinely don't think my team, I'd give my team a 9, right? And I've spent a lot of time on my team. So you're in good shape, guys. If you've enjoyed this, do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Just a note, guys, everyone that's sent in their team is one of the chasers. We'll try and do another one of these before the season starts. So keep your eyes on that and do check out Chasing Green Arrow's tweets and stuff like that. But we wanted to reward certain chasers, and all of these guys are members of the Ultras tier on my YouTube channel as well. So thanks for being in the WhatsApp group and supporting both Chasing Green Arrows and the Gianni Battici YouTube show, which is pretty cool. Guys, if you are watching for the first time and you've never experienced Chasing Green Arrows, you will love it. We do lives a couple of times a week with me, Dean Jones, who gives us all the updates from transfers and the world of football. Dean is a journo, works for Gimme Sport. And then we've got Big Man Backer, who is a former number 4 player in the world in FPL. He is often revealing his team, talking about FPL tips alongside me. We also have all sorts of guests. We've had Fabrizio Romano on the show. We have Jules Breach, Kelly Summers, Olivia Bazaglo. We've had Dean Ashton. We've had so many cool guests on the show. So do subscribe and hit that notification bell when you do. And we will see you for another video tomorrow and another live later in the week. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.